paying attention?
Yeah.
Can any of you recite, excluding this one, the last sentence that I just said? You can't remember the words that I said to you 20 seconds ago, but I'm expected to believe that the New Testament authors, who were writing at best decades after the death of Jesus, could remember his exact words and write them down accurately in a language that he wasn't speaking.
In a language that he wasn't
speaking. It's like, no way, man.
Saying.
Now, we're using an English translation of a Greek text, quoting an Aramaic-speaking man, allegedly quoting a Hebrew scripture.
Well, that's a little bit disappointing because Alex's arguments are usually really well thought out. And for someone as informed and educated as he is, I don't see how he thinks this is a good argument. So what he's doing is he's taking our current modern experience of forgetfulness and he's projecting that back in time to a culture that just does not function the way we experience life today. Today, we don't even remember our friends' phone numbers because we outsource our memory to devices like this. But in the first century, Jews lived in a culture where memorization wasn't something to be outsourced. Memory was trained, disciplined, and valued, especially if you were sitting under a rabbi. You were expected to memorize all of your rabbi's teachings, word for word, even memorize full sections of the Torah. And remember, for these disciples, this is the Messiah, the long-awaited Messiah, God in the flesh. To think that they wouldn't remember every single one of his words is again projecting our current experience back in time and expecting people who walked with God in the flesh to not remember anything that he said. Even in our forgetful culture today, we remember moments that impacted us for the rest of our lives. We remember things said at funerals, things said at our weddings, the advice that our parents gave us or friends gave us. And I find it interesting that you find it interesting that we expected people who saw Jesus rise from the dead to take his words serious enough to remember them. The Gospels didn't come from some casual conversation on a podcast. They came from a culture where repetition and memorization were just as normal as our forgetfulness today. And as far as this whole, we're reading it in English, but Jesus spoke Aramaic, and this was written down in Greek, and it's quoting Hebrew scripture. One is very likely that Jesus spoke Greek because that was the language of the land, which is exactly why many of the Old Testament scriptures that are quoted from the Septuagint, which was the Greek translation of the Hebrew scriptures. So although that rhetoric is really quotable, it's misinformed. Hey, so I'm actually only recording this part right now so I can make it past the 3-minute mark. So that way this video doesn't just get sent to the shorts feed. Oh, there's my son in the background. Anyway, thanks for watching.